Hello again, it's Mike, and welcome back to my train room for Steam Sunday on March 6th, 2022. And what do we have on the rails today? Let's start off with a little run and then we'll stop it and talk about it. So I'm gonna stop talking and we'll check it out for a second. All right, I thought we'd mix it up by starting with the run instead of ending with one, because this one is going to be a great one to talk about. Let's go ahead and slow it down. Let's creep it up next to that GS4. All right, let's shut her down. All right, well, hello everyone, and I'm here to talk about this Sunset Models third rail, brass, Southern Pacific, MT4/5 class, depending on how you research it. This actually has MT4 on the side of it. When you really look up the MT4, MT5, you find a lot more around the MT5. They were built by the Southern Pacific between the years of 1929 and 1930 in the Southern Pacific shops out of Sacramento, California. And you can see on the builder plate there, that verifies that. So, very good builder plate on this model. So a little bit more about the history and the style locomotive. So these were run by the Southern Pacific from 1929 and 1930, with only 10 having been produced. They ran all the way up as late as 1958. All of them were scrapped, so there are no surviving models of this. But I put a Southern Pacific GS4 on the rails because this looks like a little brother to the GS4. When we look at the similarities between the Lionel Vision Line GS4 there and this MT4, you're going to see that you know, a lot of the design is very similar. Outside of this is a mountain class locomotive with a 4/8/2 wheel configuration. And everyone knows the famous GS series are northern class locomotives with the 4/8/4 configuration. So let's start by the obvious differences here. And that is, look at the boiler fronts. You have two headlights, or one headlight and a Mars light on the GS4, streamlined front pilot, and you have a very flat boiler front on this guy and a traditional style pilot. Third rail did an exceptional job again. I mean, if you look at the detail around the boiler front, the headlight, I love the amber lighting. Again, my favorite color for steam locomotive lighting for sure. And if you take a look at the tops of the two, there's a lot of similarities there. Even the shape of the smokestack, the recessed area around the smokestack, very similar. Tops of the boilers, very similar, except for on the MT4, it's shorter, obviously, and it has a nice sloping design to it. I really like that, and it actually stands taller. At least, I mean, I haven't seen them next to each other in real life. We never will, but on these tracks where they are the same height, the third rail does tend to sit higher. And all the pictures I see out there of this locomotive, of the prototype, it does look like a tall locomotive in comparison, you know, to a lot of other locomotives. So when we look at some of the other details that are similar between the two locomotives, you have the side-lit number boards, you have steps on the side of the boiler. The roof hatch does open here, which is nice. If we look at some of the more specific details in this area here, that is a big difference between the GS4 and the MT4. I really love the job that Third Rail did on this model here. I mean, the cab figures are definitely really good. I like when they hang their arm out the window there with the window open. You have the plate between the tender and the cab of the locomotive. I love the drawbars on Third Rail. They're exceptional with the pin that hangs down through and the loop there. Controls, you have some controls on the bottom. You have an adjustable 2 or 4 chuff switch on this side. On the other side is your smoke unit off, smoke unit TMCC, or smoke unit conventional. Then if we make it back to the tender, very detailed tender, really good detail on top here. Very good detail on the plate of the tender. 6-wheel trucks. Detail on the bottom of the tender. Here's the rear of the tender. You have a ladder that goes all the way up. Then you have the ladder that goes slightly shorter. The rear tender light, awesome. You know, it looks very similar to the light on the front of the boiler door. Then wood grain. The stanchions are great. They're really sturdy. The handrails are really sturdy, so good job there, Third Rail. And your switches are in the hatches again for some of the other controls. So program, run switch, your volume control, and this one is, yes, equipped with cruise control. And you notice this sounded a lot like a K-Line Hudson because it has a similar soundboard in it. That's something I may end up changing eventually, but for now, I'm just really happy with having found the model because this one's pretty rare to find. First time I'd seen it for sale and I jumped on it. So haven't seen these come up very often, at least not over the past 4 years, because I'm always watching for Third Rail stuff. It is some of my favorite to buy and add into my collection. And again, I do enjoy running it. You know, with the cruise control and seeing all the different moving parts, why you see a lot around steam from me. I do collect other stuff too, but steam is definitely my favorite type of locomotive to run and watch go around the tracks. So that's what I have for Third Rail MT4. Hope everyone enjoyed my video. Please subscribe. I'll be doing some front end Fridays, steam Sunday. I'm in the process of building my layout, which I'm expanding a 090 curve onto it, and a 090 line in general. Been working on my mountain and also doing parts on what I'm collecting. So stay tuned and I will talk to you next time. Thanks.